as an owner, you have the responsibility to get a survey for the site. This is a piece that you have to have before you can really get the drawings rolling, before you can do planning submittal, before the process even can really start cooking. And ironically enough, a lot of owners don't have this, which is very peculiar. I've talked to a number of veterinarians who have bought pieces of property, and it's based on a sketch on a napkin. And this is all well and good, but you really don't know what you bought. And this can become a significant issue. So on the most basic level, don't buy anything without a survey. You got to have one. You can't sidestep this issue and get it done. So your bank's going to require this at the very minimum. So things to watch for when you actually are getting a survey done is topography. You want a survey that's going to show what kind of slope there is on that site. And as an example, even the flattest site has slope to it. And I kind of use a rule of thumb that whatever I think is the slope on a site, it's about twice that minimum. And for most people, that doesn't mean much, but as an example, when you're trying to deal with stormwater drainage and let's say ice and snow, if you're located in Minneapolis, then these things add up and become issues. So you need to have this type of information developed and understand it. Another one that often turns up as an issue is easements or encroachments. So when you finally get your survey and you get it back and you sit down and look at it, you might see some dotted lines across a portion of the page, and don't discount these dotted lines. You need to actually identify what it is. So a number of years ago, we were working on a project in Colorado, and a perfectly good site. It was about an acre or so. And there was a pair of dotted lines that went right across the middle of the page. And we thought, oh my goodness. And the owner was like, had completely discounted it. And so we started digging around in the records and found out, sure enough, that was an easement that was a gas and utility easement right smack dab through the middle of the site. And it took a perfectly good 1 acre site and turned it into a unusable site. So luckily he managed to get his money back, but otherwise he could have been out $250,000, and this is a significant issue. So there's another example of what to watch for. Along with your survey, you should also start thinking about identifying setbacks and access points. It's pretty common to see a front setback as big as 50 feet, and that takes a good chunk of space. I've seen little tiny lots where you take a 50-foot setback off the front and then a 35-foot off the back and 2 more 30s off of each side, and you have no site left. So your survey should identify these things. So all these things are part of tracking down the information to know what you really have there. So what can look like a gigantic site can literally disappear before your eyes based on the legalities.